Hello, welcome to Season 4 of How to Play D&D, an explainer podcast where one experienced Dungeon Master and one failed scriptwriter discuss D&D topics. My name is Kinsey, and my ridiculously inadequate pod partner is McCaffery. Hello, Lewis.
Hello, Connor. You know what I've just realised?
That you keep having muscle spasms?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah?
No, one thing is every time you clap, it, I don't know, sends shivers down my anus.
Oh, okay.
It echoes.
Well, my cheeks clap or my hands?
Yeah, both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'll let you guess which one I actually mean. But no, you've not failed or stumbled once in the past 4 episodes that we've just recorded.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Oh, no, that
recorded.
That was...
We've been here for weeks in this chamber of secrets.
I wish I was in here with you for weeks. But no, that wasn't a compliment. I was just a statement.
Nice. Oh, fair enough. Thank you.
But well done. There's your compliment.
Also,
very good.
Side note: when this Chamber of Secrets came out, when I went to the cinema, I thought it was just going to be me and my dad in a room. But we'll never know.
Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah. Oh. Okay.
He calls you the Half-Blood Prince, though.
He does. Yeah. Okay. Wait, am I adopted? Am I a stepson? Okay, right. Can you guess what today's episode is about?
Adoption.
Always.
And why
it's
we should
DMing online. Let's get to it. Okay, so today's episode is on DMing online. The last time I DM'd online, I wore a cowboy hat. The last time Lewis DM'd online, he probably wore nothing. That's all I've got.
No, you know what? You really hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah, thank you.
Lewis,
it won't surprise you to know that I'm a member of the RuneScape Society at school.
What a fucking loser.
It may surprise you to find out that I'm 48. Why won't my mum pay for my account anymore? What am I doing?
Hey, that's so real.
Lame.
Why does no one pay for my Club Penguin account anymore? That's because it doesn't exist.
Gutted.
Can someone, if there's a listener out there, that is rich, can you buy Club Penguin and just
make it?
Yeah.
Turn the iceberg back over.
Exactly. I want to get
on. I want to get on. Oh. Okay.
But yeah, I don't know what you're doing. You're just lame.
Dying.
Yeah.
Dying inside. Okay. Is playing online a good option for first-time DMs?
First time, I'd say no.
I'd say no.
You can do it. That's fine, but make sure you know the software or whatever you're using the website well. Only because as a new first-time DM, you're bound to struggle with some of the rules. You're going to need to flick through handbooks and things like that, or ask players. You've got enough on your mind already, rather than wondering why the website's lagging, or where that token goes, or why the fuck someone keeps drawing a cock on your map. You don't need all that. Yeah,
you don't. Me.
Well, that's just your actual one. You just scanning it on a printer. Yeah. You don't need any. Like I said, you've got enough to think about. The less extra stuff you can worry about, the better. Yeah,
I agree. I don't even think being a player, playing your first time online is a good option. Because you're not really getting what it's about there. You're not in the room, you're not rolling the dice, you're not doing all the things that probably drew you to play in the first place. I'm sure it's fun, and I've had some fun sessions online, but you're like twice removed, I think.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It feels odd to be DMing, like you said, having that many more fuck-ups that can happen. Or, arguably, if it fucks up for someone else, you're also apparently the problem. Like, but it's not, Roll20's not working. Okay, well, it is for me and it is for everyone else. Like,
exactly.
But you, because you're the DM, it's on you, and it shouldn't be, but it is. So
exactly. And the thing I don't know if we've said this on the podcast, but I strongly believe that in-person D&D is always better.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, new players, new DMs. Just if you want to truly get a sense of what DMing is like, or what playing D&D is like, do it in person first.
Definitely. Okay. Well, I've just said Roll20, but where can people play D&D online? So we know you can play it on Roll20.
Yep.
You know that you can just play over Discord.
Yeah.
But it'd be, I guess, a bit weirder because you haven't got like a board representing.
Exactly,
I'm sure people make it work.
Yeah, you don't necessarily need a board or anything. All you need is somewhere to roll dice so that you know, even if you had cameras on or if you had a Discord bot that are free online, you could play on D&D Beyond, I believe. I don't know if that's actually launched yet or not. I don't know if there. Oh, to be fair, actually, there are a few, but these are more paid options. So there's a game called Quest Haven, which is a VR one, but you don't need VR for it. Where you build the worlds, and then if you do have a VR, it sounds cool because you can actually go into
Walk
through the
into
eyes,
the room
look through the eyes of your tokens that you put down.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
Is Owlbear Rodeo one?
I've not heard of that one actually.
I've heard of Owlbear.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the full name is Owlbear Rodeo.
Oh.
I mean, I've only used Roll20.
Yeah. To be fair, there will be tons of options. A lot of free, a lot of paid. It's just Googling what's out there, asking other people what they use, and just seeing what you're comfortable with. Because I prefer to use Roll20 if I DM online, but I know a few DMs that hate Roll20. So
I know actually, as of today, the 15th of January. Obviously, this episode is coming out in like the end of February, beginning of March, I think. But I actually got my email today for the beta for Project Sigil, which is the like D&D Beyond's version of Roll20, essentially, with all the great graphics and tokens and soon to be Optimus Prime miniatures and whatever else they're cashing in on.
Not needed.
But yeah, that as of this episode, when you hear this, that's probably gone ahead and released.
Yeah.
And so that's another option, which is, I guess, more in tune with if you use D&D Beyond for your character sheets.
There are tons of ways to play it online. Like I said, you don't even need a board. Get in a voice call. Everyone decide where you're going to be rolling the dice, and then you're good to go.
We often play without a board in general, unless there's literally combat. And sometimes you don't need it for that, but we'll get onto that episode as a topic.
Later on this season. That
topic as an episode, later on this season for the first time DMs. Okay, what are the benefits of playing this way as a party online?
I think as a party, maybe one benefit is that obviously everyone sees the same thing. It's obviously you do if you've got a board, but especially, let's say Roll20, it's cheaper for the DM.
Yeah.
Which means the DM can properly express what they want to. Let's say, for example, if we're playing in person and I'm putting you against an ancient red dragon, but I don't have an ancient red dragon miniature, so I just use, I don't know, a box of tissues that I found or something. Yeah. You can imagine it, but it doesn't have the same effect. Whereas if you're online, if I didn't have that miniature, I could just find an image online, put that on the map, and players will freak out because they will see the size of it. They'll see exactly what you're trying to get across. Yes. So there are benefits to doing it online, mainly cheaper. And better access to
things. I actually think that's not what I would have thought of. I would have said being able to actually get people together.
True.
Because most people these days don't like going out. I don't know why. You should go out. You'll die if you don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, the people can play across the world together. We have people on our Discord that are literally in the US.
Yep.
So it makes sense that people can connect together. I know a person I've just finished working with who he's the DM. His wife plays in the same house, but then the rest of their friends are all in different countries.
Yeah.
So they managed to make that work. So I guess D&D really is about connecting people. So I guess in that sense, it does it better than in person.
Definitely. Just it removes so many barriers, and then if someone drops, for example, if someone drops out, everyone's travelled, it's just.
Yeah.
Whereas online, it's just a case of...
There's less time taken.
Yeah, I won't walk to my desk and put my mic on, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Also, I like how you say that you'll die if you don't go outside, knowing full well you've been sat in piss-soaked trousers for the past 3 weeks in this room.
This was a choice. I never said I couldn't leave. I just said you couldn't leave.
That's horrible.
Is it worth new DMs buying bits for online play?
Is it worth it? Yes. Is it necessary? No. Because...
like in real life.
Exactly, yeah. Some things will be worth it, some won't be. For example, obviously I've been DMing for a long time now, but I bought, for example, the Curse of Strahd pack for Roll20 or animated tokens, and I've been able to use them. Whenever I put an animated token on a map, people freak out. They're like, whoa, it's always the same, whoa, it moves. So... you'll always find use out of it if you're playing regularly. It'll always be worth it, but it's not needed. You can find alternatives for free, and you don't need to spend excess money. But obviously, if you were planning to spend money for an in-person game, then sure, if you can afford to do it, if you want to do it, why not use that money and buy packs online or something, or tokens
it's
online.
Definitely cheaper online than it is. Even the books are digitally, like digital books are way cheaper. They're like £20, like $30 cheaper or something like this.
Definitely.
This is our last question. Does running a session prove otherwise to be easier online as a newbie compared to in person?
I wouldn't say so. Generally speaking, it can be, but I'm thinking more. Let's say
the tech side of it.
Yeah, I'm thinking where it is easier. Let's say if you're a first-time DM, you're bound to be nervous unless you're a bloody freak that doesn't get nervous or has no shame.
God, you really are pointing me out tonight.
Exactly. So if you're doing that and you don't have a camera on, you're just behind a computer screen with your mic on, it's so much easier to put voices on, to emphasise certain bits, to actually get into the role of DM, rather than if you're sat for the first time ever at the head of a table with 4 or 5 people just watching you and waiting for you to start.
Yeah.
That is so much more nerve-wracking to do it in person. So that way it can be better. But every other aspect for me, or almost every other aspect, I'd say it's worse. Or it's more difficult, just because the tech issues, the number of things you have to think about, not just can everyone hear you, are the tokens loaded, have you hidden the map enough so that you've not given everything away, as well as all the D&D rules. It's just can be a bit awkward, right? A bit too awkward in my opinion.
I am such a technophobe anyway, so I'm rubbish at this. I mean, I've been using the same orange map online for like the famous orange map. It's just beautiful. An orange grid. That's it for everything. People were like, "Oh well, we know Connor's DMing. Fine. Well, at least you know it's me."
You know what to expect.
My biggest issue though, outside of tech, is actually the players. Which sounds like I'm going to be mean now, but we have literally. I have not been in the session, but on our server we used to run. There was a DM that was playing as a player, and he literally fell asleep in someone's session 3 times.
Yeah.
Because his screen was off, you can't see him, and he's just waiting for his turn. But he's at his desk, so he just fell asleep. We've had players where, obviously, if you're in the room together, you can understand kind of how, if people are like... You know, they're kind of slacking, they're a bit tired, they've just finished work and come to here. There's different things where you can read the room. You can't read the room when it's just screens that aren't on and people are falling asleep. We had someone who was literally like at their wedding, and I'm not just I swear on my sister's life. They were literally trying to play, and then we're like, I can't hear you because there's fucking wedding bells. So like, there's so many random absurd things where you go, that can't happen, like that won't happen again. It happens. People are weird, especially on the internet, when they can hide behind something.
Exactly.
Or people just go off, and do something, and they go, well, when I hear my name, I'll come back. And you can't be having that, because it just ruins it for everyone, really.
The thing is, as well, is that if you're especially playing with people you don't know, let's say it's all people you've met online, then I'm sure they might be lovely people, but you are more likely, I think, to find nice people in person than online, because the amount of fucking weirdos that are online, you're going to find some of them.
Also, my biggest thing, and I can summarise this really quickly, my biggest thing about the internet in general, where there's some kind of like live chat, back and forth, is you say, all right, Connor, it's your go.
Yeah. All right, Connor, it's your go. Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Why? Why is the delay that bad? Either you're not listening, or the signal between us, the connection is rubbish enough that there's this uncomfortable, almost like British comedic.
Yeah, you don't know whether
pause.
To speak, and when you do speak,
everyone
they speak.
Speaks. There isn't a lag when you're all talking over each other, but there is when you're waiting for the person to reply, and it's like 9 times out of 10 that's the case. And when you're DMing and you've just said this big bit, and they're about to come across something that really is a game changer, you hope it really impresses them, and they don't reply for like a solid real minute.
Yeah,
and they go, okay. And you're like, well, have I done a bad job? Yeah. Did you hear me? What happened? Yeah.
It can be so annoying. And I feel like it's easier for players to interrupt as well. Like I've had so many sessions DMing where I'm describing something, and you always get that one player that immediately interrupts just because they don't want to ever be at risk. And rather than listening to what I'm saying, even though technically the world's paused while I'm doing it, the boss isn't coming out and killing them while I speak. They want to just jump in the middle of whatever I'll be saying, to say, oh, I want to turn around, dash and run away. And it's like, you'll get your turn, wait. Whereas
Yeah.
if you're in person and someone, like, no one's going to be that rude in person.
No, it definitely is different. But it's like the Wild West online,
yeah.
I think, personally.
Plus, one thing I will say while I just remembered, you can strike so much fear into people's hearts in person that you can't online. For example, all I was thinking is, in our Fandelver campaign that I ran, I had a sand timer, and every now and then, if there was a time thing, I wouldn't tell them, I'd just place it on the table. And there were a couple of times where no one noticed it first, and then when one person spotted that it was on the table, it just someone would just yell out, and then you'd freak out wondering why you've got 30 seconds left to do
100%,
something.
100%.
It's great.
You get some really good bits like that. You miss out online. Okay, well, today's adventure has sadly come to a close. We're back again next week with the topic, we go brown cows. So where have all the pink and yellow ones gone?
What about the green ones?
Green cows?
Yeah. I don't know what this means.
Not we go. We've got brown cows.
Yes, we've got brown cows.
So where have all the pink and yellow ones gone?
I don't... Oh, is it...
Chocolate cows. Rubbish.
Yeah.
Rubbish.
I don't get it.
Essentially, every year... This is a boring outro now.
Okay.
Essentially, every year, the general US public is asked if they think chocolate milk comes from cows.
Oh, okay.
And they genuinely believe.
Yes.
No. I think it's like 64% of the US general public, think that chocolate milk comes from brown cows. And funnily enough, I think it's like 50 or 60% of the entire US population are farmers of some kind. So that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a funny one.
So if you're an American and you didn't know that chocolate milk doesn't come from brown cows, we are incredibly sorry.
Yes.
Also, Santa Claus is not real.
Yes, and pink and yellow cows, they were eradicated by the, I don't know,
by the fire of London.
Yeah, I don't know, some random shit. And as always, thank you for tuning in, and if you like joining on the D&D action, then please follow us on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at How to Play D&D, or check out the link in our bio to join our Discord server. And for BTS sessions, bloopers, blogs, early access to episodes, and even live Q&As, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/howtoplayD&D. I've been Connor Kinsey.
I've been Lewis McCaffery.
Good day.
Goodbye.